Yo, what's happening? About to get to it. Absolutely. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome one and all to the Sohigho Cannabis Show. I miss my music being in here. I don't know what's going on. But thank everybody for tuning in to the Sohigho Cannabis Show. We are brought to you live from Cleveland, Ohio. We like to call it Cleveland, Ohio. We've been doing this show for a good 2 to 3 years since our law changed up here in Ohio. We are currently in a hot state up in here in Cleveland, but beautiful outside. Here on the Sohigho Cannabis Show, I know I'm gonna have to restart it. We usually on the Voice It Radio, and we have to just tap back in when EP. I don't know. He probably on the golf course. It's so damn hot up here today. I'm surprised anybody outside. But we talk about legalization, information, and the cultivation of the cannabis plant, specifically here in Ohio. So right now, like I say, it's a scorcher outside, 420, heat index 109, and a lot of people like, what can you do really when the heat goes up? Indoors is obvious, like get those things out the tent. Something about that radiated, uh, the radiation to me from the sun is so bright right now this time of year that it's just so penetrating that your tent or the reflective light or whatever, it's just so hot in your tent in the indoors right now without having a crazy amount of AC running. You almost got your AC right in your tent this time of year to grow indoors right now. So the other thing that's important to remember about the temp is the ambient temperature is one thing, but the dirt temperature is another. So check your parameters in your dirt. Make sure your dirt temperatures is being regulated, and that will help you make better judgments on what you should do with your plant. But trust me, plenty of things. It's heat stress, it's wind stress, it's different stresses for the cannabis plant that you could use all the time to assist in getting better fruit. So some stresses on the plant. Heat stress, not really that good. You could cook your tent. You could get very hot, and it could be above optimal situations. Like right now, it's very, very hot with a lot of humidity, probably like 92 degrees outside, but it's about the humidity has us feeling like it's like 106 right now. So normally that's not bad, but up here with this much humidity, it's kind of uncomfortable. I'm not gonna complain about my boy JB and them down in Texas and doing that. So JB, if I don't do the Zoom EP at the radio station, do the Zoom. I've been promising to get my man, the Blind Bud Cultivator, on the show for 2 weeks in a row. And today I had a shot to get on at 420, so I jumped right on at 420. And EP, I don't know if he on the golf course, if he doing some skyball stuff, but shout out to EP, Voice It Radio president, and co-host over on Dumb America with us at 10 a.m. on the morning. We've been doing that show, so if you ain't doing nothing at 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning, Monday through Wednesday, good morning, Dumb America, 10 a.m. Eastern time, we go on and we talk about different ideas around the country. I do be the weed man on that show, so it's a spinoff from Hot Mess in the Evening. We just in the daytime with it. Had a great show today. Made some good people today. Mickey Baby and Nicole from Houston, Miss International Houston pageant winner Nicole, and Mickey Baby out of Akron, an up and coming singer. I think she's established already. Very versatile singer. Great on the show this morning. But here on the Cannabis Show, we got a lot to get into. And today I wanted to talk to everybody a little bit about breeding, and maybe it's something that you could do. I'm rocking my man Hippie Mafia shirt, man. It's my main man. He always throw down. Been doing these shirts for a long time, buddy. Love him to death, man. And I can't wait till the little mama take over the company, man. So shout out to Hippie Mafia. Been putting it down with us for a long, long time. Probably one of the real original sponsors of the Ohio gas company is Hippie Mafia. Hippie Mafia been rocking with us since Mm-hmm. The '90s we've been putting this out, so this is like always been one of my favorite brands, one of a good friend of mine's brand, and I always rock it along with the Thieveling gear. You can see it over on the YouTube. Not so much on the thing. We did talk about a little bit about uh, breeders and how you could use it, go into breeding. Like everybody like want to grow and everybody think dispo and things like that. But if you can become a breeder in the cannabis plant, breeders are the backbone of cannabis growing. Just hands down, if you a good breeder, like you don't really need to grow like for a lot of things, but if you like growing plants, you grow a few because you can get good strains, and it's very interesting. It's a lot of natural things that I think like the more we learn and the more information we get uncovered, that the more we should be eating healthy and controlling our health and our mental situation with our diets a lot more. That's going to be including what we grow for our medicine, and that would be cannabis plant. Cannabis for sativa is a great pain reliever, and it's also a relaxer. It's a lot of good medicinal qualities that you could use, along with the fibers for hemp and a lot of good other things. It's a lot of things that grow naturally out the ground that I think the government or whoever, I can't even tell you who whatever these entities that don't want you, the people who want to make money off pharmaceutical, never will want you to use or use these things for your own good. So it's been a lot of advancements in breeding over the years. A simple little tool that you guys could like go, if you could remember back what, I don't know how old you guys are, but it was Mexican brickweed back in the day. We used to just call it doodoo brown. It was like a lot. Sometimes you could get a pack that was fluffy, that wasn't so smashed down and stuff, that was still kind of green, but it was always like compacted so they could get so much up east. I think that's how pot came. And you look at the bud structures from the '80s up to now. Now it went different because when we really went kind bud hydro in this area for Northeast Ohio, and I'm gonna talk about Ohio, New York, Jersey, because I was around these people. Kind bud was what it was. So we came out of the Beasters. The Beasters had a great run. British Columbia was free. They was growing a lot of weed, and that was good weed. But it seemed like it was so hard with not a lot of moisture, and I suspect that was from transporting that in trucks across Canada and getting it down here to the States. The Beasters, I ain't gonna tell everybody. Well, this is probably they used to get to Ohio from a couple different methods, but a lot of times even the Beasters. Some people had the Beasters up north in California, but not a lot. And don't ever forget the outdoor Cali crop has been holding the whole place down. The Kentucky bumper crop used to happen every freaking year. They had this orange Afghan and the strain of weed. I said all of that talking about the breeders on what strain of weed that was. When we went from all of that just regular weed that we was just have regular seeds, but it was some brand name weeds back then. But if you look at what the bud look like now to bud structure today, it's incredible. It's a credible difference in how far we came in picking the good plants, finding out what grows, finding out what grows with what, and sticking to it, and really like cutting a lot of fluff out right now. I say, if you thinking about growing and you want to grow a lot and you don't want to babysit it a lot, get you a hydroponic system, and you can grow all natural with hydroponics. A lot of people in the industry call it salts because that's what you mix into your water to give you all of the nutrients. A lot of other people, it's just rolling with natural dirt, top dressing, Gaia green, maybe adding some of the stash spot, some of the other little nutrients to the top. Roots organic, heavy. Hey, shit, Humboldt County. I better send me my sample so I could grow a Humboldt County got nutrients now. So why wouldn't they get in the nutrients if they know what grow good with their genetics? That's where the breeder comes in. I would love to have Just a team of folks that's all we do. Every year we just break out new strains after we have grew about like 10 or 11, and it's very intense. When people want to start new strains, to say I'm starting new strains, it take a long time. If you get a seed, you grow a seed, then you gotta have male plants. Once you start entering male plants into the equation, you need a separate room. It's a lot to go along with growing male plants so you can produce seeds also. So that's a whole set of situations in itself when you're trying to grow plant. But it is a lot of people that just pollen chuck. And what do I mean by pollen chuck? You get a male plant, hopefully strong, and you go in there and you just like spread the pollen over there, and then you're gonna get some seeds out of that. You have to sex those seeds, but when you find those seeds out of there, it is like some of the best weeds you got. Who sits back and take time and do it? Not a lot of people, but I bet you if it was all of us together in a bigger spot, in a bigger grow lab, I would say here in Ohio, shout out to paper makers. Paper makers that I know of right now is probably, and my man Ben out at Cuyahoga, at the Chagrin Falls Grow. He knew a good breeder out there that was growing very well too. But paper makers here in Ohio, that's the best people who cutting genetics and going through the process of getting their own. It literally took me, we started when, before the law went, Michigan was legal. So I started chasing down what I wanted. I chased down unicorn poop, got unicorn poop, grew unicorn poop, liked unicorn poop, didn't like unicorn poop, was a hardy plant. So then I had to grow that out. That took me like 6 months. And then I was like, yo, I want to cross unicorn poop with red pop. My man was like, yeah, you caught it right. I'll sex this one plant that I got. And we sexed that plant, and he sent me the seeds. And I had to sex the seeds after that. What do I mean by I had to sex the seeds? I didn't know whether it was male or female when you just pollen check on a plant. You have to grow the seeds out in a bunch of like 20, 30 red cups, and that's when you can tell if it's either a male or a female, and either you kill all the males out, grow the females up, and then after 3 or 4 months of growing, and you have to, at that stage, I would veg them for damn near 14 days, flip that light, so I could taste the final product. I would speed that thing up. I'd probably be growing something commercially or smoking for myself, but I would do an experiment on that. And let me tell you how long that was going. That was like a good year and a half, 2 years, and we was trying 2 or 3 different things, small grows like that. And it's a lot of like I used to spend like 3 or 4 hours a morning just like writing and checking on 3 different guards and seeing if this is growing good. Should I kill this or should I not kill this plant? So it's very important when you breed and to keep notes, even when you're growing now. Let me tell you, with the cell phone, make a video log of what you're doing with your plants on a daily basis. Keep your temperatures. If you're fortunate enough to put a little camera inside your tent, it's a good way to know if your light's coming on. If you got it on your thermometer, especially like right here in the Midwest right now in Ohio, it is humid, hot. And if you just got a little wise camera in your tent like this time of year to see if you got an emergency situation, if you start tipping over 81, 82, you in danger. Get those temperatures down. Creeping toward 90, you can cook your garden if you indoors. If you indoors and this time of year and you're not running AC, I hope you got a lot of fans going, and I hope you got a lot of air circulating. But you are not in trouble. Remember your dirt temperature. As long as your dirt temperature is down about 76, 77 degrees, you are okay. After a while, the top leaves will be getting into trouble, and it is some methods. If you are in a tent and you are having real cooling problems in the Midwest, probably Texas, everywhere, the Salt Boys, which is the Hydro Boys, always use CO2. And CO2 can cool your tent down. If you use the carbon monoxide, CO2 can help you keep your tent cool, and depending on where you at in your growth cycle, it will help you. Produce more fruit. But CO2 is what's going to change the um, is what changing photosynthesis over and making the plant grow. So it's part of the process with CO2, and you can keep the temperature down very very low with that in a tent situation. Outdoors, everybody, we just at the mercy of good God. You can do all of the tent thing, get burlap, keep some of the sun off of it if you can, make little tents. But it's kind of windy up in here, just with a lot of sun, but it's going down now. So it's really only about 2 or 3 hours. And really, it's only problems when you got like seedlings. But make sure you up on the water. Check your plant and your dirt for water. It is sucking up a lot of water right now. Make sure if you can keep. That's when you grow on with cover plants outdoors. If you made a little ring around your plant and you cover them with cover plants like mini clovers or the little different cover plants that go over your area where your dirt is for your cannabis plant, you hold in more. It's more temperature control, but technically, it's always getting going down in that dirt. If the worms and the microbes are acting the way they do it, it should be heat generated in your dirt, and it should be a certain amount of where it's not gonna get too hot. If you ever see the worms coming out of the ground, you messing up. Other than that, you pretty much good if you growing outdoors. That's always a good tip. Don't forget the other tip this time of year. It should be about time. Those who started with me on the slushy plants, get those red ringworm. A couple of you guys got that heavy clay. It was drying out. I checked y'all. Just literally get a pack of worms, red ringer worms, and throw them right around there. Also, you can never go wrong with the earthworm castings. And remember to make an earthworm compost tea. Also, if you outdoors and it feel like you not getting the nutrients that you need, try to go with the compost tea before you trying to go before you are getting straight to add straight nutrients. But you are going to have to add nutrients inside the cannabis plant, even outdoors, folks, because the dirt, cannabis just eats dirt up. That's why it's great to have living soil. It takes all the nutrients out the dirt. Cannabis plant is a nutrient greedy plant, and it will strip everything out your plant if you are not producing the whole time. That's why they have great dirt programs. My girl Luna All Day over on Instagram always makes the best dirt content, and been doing it good. Right now we getting down the simplest. Sometimes just to feed your dirt outside. There's plenty of people that do it out the kitchen. Look it up on when you understand it, you could do it. Coffee grounds, I think, with the nitrogen, all your banana peels and all of that stuff. That's gonna give you a lot of potassium. A good heavy potassium compost tea will get you there. Some worm castings, and you can actually grow a cannabis plant without a lot of nutrients. What you have in your kitchen. I tell you guys all of that it's not that complicated as it seems, but we have to for the liberation of us, especially here, us Americans. If you want us to have some independence from seed to table, is what we should do. You got to cut everybody out our life that's not looking out for you. And if you growing your own product from seed to table, you don't have no question about what is going. I like the cannabis plant to explain this to the world because it is economic. But right after that, you're going to grow your own everything. You're not going to trust nobody else. You'll be growing potatoes and green beans. It's just if you get a green thumb, you'll see. You just don't want to just grow. I do. I love growing cannabis. But I like growing other plants. They're very interesting, and then you learn more. And I like people who I got a friend who loves cactuses. They love cactus, learning the different soil compared to cannabis. It's going to be the way of the future that we go from seed to table. I just personally use cannabis to go and prove this to myself, but we have to. Here in Ohio, it is completely legal for you to grow 6 plants in your yard as an adult. I would like to have a place where you could just come pick these pots of plants up, because it was tough this year. The beginning of the year, putting it straight in the ground. The people who survived the harsh thunderstorm. I mean, it was tornado-like weather with hail. They are growing very good outdoors. It's been, besides today, it's been so relatively great temperature. Been a lot of humidity for veg right now. So everybody that's in veg in Northeast Ohio right now is doing excellent. It is a swamp right now. It is hot and humid, and it's really too much heat out there. So definitely seed the table, cut the middleman out, and you will see. And make strides to keep the plant growing by taking cuttings. Don't just think grow one plant. Think grow a plant and make it live for 2 or 3 times. A lot of times when we pop a seed, that you know the genetics aren't the best till the third cutting. That means you need to grow that plant for 3 cycles. That at minimum is going to take you about a year and a half. So sit on one plant. It's not bad. That's why I'll be your grow me. Your grow me is your growing homie. I'll be your homie. I'll grow a sativa. You'll grow this. The government here in Ohio said I can't sell you anything, but I could give it to you. I just can't advertise for that. So we can't really exchange that. But I'll grow something that you might like, and eventually I'm gonna think we're gonna get to a place where that's unconstitutional. And let's not remember, nationally, the President of the United States decriminalized medical weed federally. It's a slow rollout, but he signed an executive order. So if you are in the United States of America, get your medical card. Medical weed will then become a Class 3 drug. A Class 3 drug does not carry nearly the penalties of heroin, cocaine, fentanyl, and Class 1 drugs on the schedule. So medical marijuana right now is scheduled Class 3, and it's so gray area. So that means you have to have processed all through the state, and whoever could stamp it medical, and that's not coming from the federal, but the federal mandate said, and he did that for research. So I think in that, it's going to be hard for you as a consumer with the way the pharmaceutical companies, that's who's going to oppose you in this. It's going to be pharmaceutical companies who want to keep us taking their own medicines and things like that. It is very unique out here with what we're doing with growing medicines and seeds and what's around you. And I think we are headed more to that. The more they force us into the AI world and things like that, I think we just gonna come together as a community and a foundation. Some of us will, I think it's just gonna assist us, and we're gonna stop taking on. I think it's all gonna backfire on the corporate people, and we're gonna take control of our life more with this technology and stop taking so much of what they give us for the truth as the truth, because we can find it out for ourselves. So that's me a little bit on my soap opera, and I did want to talk about another one of our natural cousin to the marijuana plant, maybe in the natural realm, is the mushroom, man. Mushrooms is on popular. I'm waiting on Ohio. They have approved for military people with PTSD to start using psilocybin for treating PTSD. So I'm looking forward to that. So it's a lot of good things coming out with growing things in the growing natural things to help us with our health, especially the cannabis plant. Listen, everybody, I think we got a lot of things coming up this weekend, specifically the Mason Brothers Boxing. If you in Northeast Ohio, come out on 4th of July. I am so looking forward to it. We got the Art Fest coming up. The Go Skate Day was a great thing, little turnout. We had a good ass time. Check us out on the Instagrams and everything for that. We had a good time going over with that stuff. So Mason Brothers Boxing this weekend. We got we have Thanks to Brothers Boxer and Go Skate Day. And we got the Art Fest coming up on August 8th. Also, we got tomorrow morning, we got Good Morning Dumb America be coming on. So that's about it. It's so hot in here today that I really don't feel like keep it going today. But tune in. Don't forget, I never get on this thing without telling you can eat too many gummies, man. Be always careful. Go low and slow with gummies. You can always eat too many gummies, man. Be very, very careful out there. Have a good time out here. Be responsible, man, and smoke weed so you don't punch somebody in the face. Peace. We appreciate y'all.